Hi guys, my name is Joshua Bautista and welcome to the very first episode of the Logout Sessions! What's up guys? Welcome to the very first episode of our podcast, the show where we get to talk about anything under and beyond the BPO umbrella. Walang censor pero bawal kumbara. Walang filter pero bawal mameke. And walang limit. 30 minutes lang yung podcast kaya bawal mag-stretch. Sobrang haba. Anyways! This podcast is brought to you by our very folks here at ClearSource BPO. Shoutout nga pala to everyone from ClearSource, especially to those working from home, whether it be from the Philippines, USA, or our friends at Costa Rica. Hello, buenos dias, hola, hi, mabuhay. Any greeting, hello to all of you. For our very first episode, we decided to title it, That's What Friends Are For. Now, if you think that sounds familiar, that's because it's one of your favorite songs from the one and only Dionne Warwick. Please don't ask me to sing it because I don't know the chorus, but I know it's a really good song, so yeah, there it is. Alam mo, funny thing about friendships is that, it doesn't really leave us no matter where we go. Yes, things change, but the energy of friendship always surrounds us. No matter where we are, really. No matter if we're in the office or if we're outside of the office. Now, this is something I can't talk about alone. Here today to talk about friendship with us is one of my own work friends. He's our resident dancer and our resident meme lord, the one, the only, Aaron Raflores. Hello, Aaron.
Hello, Josh. Hi, guys. Hi, everyone. Happy people. Hope you're doing well.
Kumusta naman yung ulam kanina? Mamaya.
Wow.
Kumusta naman yung ulam kanina? Kumusta naman yung ulam kanina?
It was pretty good. We had yung ginataang tulingan, which is, it's a coconut milk soup with tulingan, which is kind of like a Filipino tuna. It's pretty good. Yeah,
See,
with
I didn't
rice.
eat it. But I heard it's good.
It was very good.
So, let's get this show on the road, shall we?
Let's go.
Okay, let's start by talking about friends at work. Now, for friends at work, how long did it take for you to make friends at work? I know you started quite recently here in ClearSource.
Yeah, I did.
How long did it take for you to make friends at work?
Well, actually, it depends on the person. My first ever friend here at ClearSource was actually Cyrus, our junior graphic designer.
Hi, Cyrus.
So he's kind of like my partner in my role, since we both focus on the sourcing team, their request. So I spend a lot of time with him, and since I spent a lot of time with him, I got to know him more. We eat lunch together, we chatted up. Then I think about 3 days, more or less 3 days, we became friends.
Oh, I see. Yeah, you guys, I remember when you guys first started, it was the company photo shoot. And then both of you were put through the ringer.
I know.
You know what I mean? You guys had lots of tasks, you guys had to help out. It was a literal, well, not really a literal one, but it was a baptism by fire to both of you. What do you think about having friends at work though? Does it affect your work performance at all? Does it change anything? What do you think?
Oh, it's a very good thing to have friends at work. I noticed when I became friends with Cyrus, our work became more efficient, more smoothly, since I've discovered how he works, how he would react, how I would deliver the request to him, which made our job easier. And actually, I've read this article. Actually, there was this research that they did a survey for a company, and majority of the people said that having friends in the workplace, it makes you more productive. It makes the employees be motivated to go to work, since they get to meet their friends, and it makes them healthier since they have someone who they can share their stress with or their problems at work.
I see. When you're not at work, or basically when you get the opportunity to go off work with your work friends, what do you guys usually like to do?
I would enjoy having a meal or a drink with them. Actually, this last week Friday, I've had after a company event, the Santa Cruzan. If you guys watch that,
Yeah.
So after that event, we had a dinner date. It was some members of the marketing team and the sourcing team, the interns. So we ate samgyeopsal. It's a Korean barbecue. So we had fun. We ate out. Then after that, we went out for drinks and karaoke.
You guys went to karaoke?
Yeah.
Oh,
It was
fun.
really
I wanted
fun.
to go to karaoke.
So
But I'm from Las Piñas, so that was never gonna happen.
yeah, we ended at around 2 a.m. I think.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. So during that time, I got to know more about the people I work with. So we were talking about work, but at the same time, the pressure of or the seriousness of talking about work wasn't there. So it was more casual, it was more light, it was more fun.
And it's funny that you bring that up because from what I've read in the internet as well, a lot of friend groups that are in the office, they really try their best to stay off of work when they hang out outside of work.
I've noticed that.
And for me, it's like, well, if there's nothing to talk about except for work, you
Yeah.
know, why not? Alam mo yun, hindi dapat yan ililimit.
Yeah, especially if you guys actually met at work.
Yeah.
So parang
Or if you guys work together.
Yeah.
Diba, if you're in the same team, ano pag-uusapan nyo? Kumusta naman yung Santa Cruzan last week? Yung actual Santa Cruzan, hindi yung nasa office, ha?
Diba?
Diba? So, yeah. It's fun. It's fun that you guys got to go to karaoke.
Yeah. You should go next time.
I will.
Yeah.
Any fun stories that happened? Any songs that were sung?
Well, I did actually start off with with the Filipino rap.
Okay.
Yeah, if you know the song Gayuma. No, it was Gayuma by Abra. It was funny because it was about the love potion. Like, you know, you're gonna give someone a love potion to make them fall for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was like that. And the lyrics were very it was very pang-asar. Like, they were teasing that someone who gave the love potion to us.
Yeah. So it's funny that you mentioned karaoke because that's what I like to do as well with my work friends. Well, back when I hung out with my work friends, my previous work friends, but you know, yeah, we would also like end at like 2 or 3 in the morning.
Hell of a night.
Hell of a night, but fun night nonetheless. Would you refer? But here's the thing, though. It's different when you meet your best friend in the office. You know what I mean? Like you're already there. You start off as co-workers, and then you build up a friendship. But what about your friend? What about your best friend outside of work? Would you work with them? Would you refer them to the place that you work at?
Actually, it would depend. I guess the first thing that I would have to consider is my friend a good match for the role? Does he have the skills to do it? Since especially I know him personally, him or her personally, then I should be able to judge whether he's a good match for the role. The second is that my friend should be able to enjoy the company, the culture as well. Yeah. Like, I mean, you're friends with a lot of different people, and especially you have to think first that if they go inside the company, would they be able to grow or would they be able to enjoy themselves? The third factor, I guess, would be that would this job opportunity give my friend a better situation or like a better way of living? Like, let's say, will the pay be better, or will the company culture help him grow, or will it be a good, support for his or her mental health, something like that?
Yeah, I do agree because, most workforces nowadays, they do tend to put emphasis on mental health.
Yeah, and that's that recently.
Yeah, that's a really good thing though because, back in the day, especially during the times of our parents, mental health was something that was not often talked about. In fact, it was mostly swept under the rug. But seeing the effect of having friends in your office, seeing the effect of having friends you can confide to in your own workplace, that does show drastic amounts of improvement in your mental health. And in turn, it does affect your performance in a more positive way.
It does.
Diba?
It really does, yeah.
Alam mo, it's funny that we talk about, working with our besties at work because that's actually our next topic of discussion. Work besties. Yes.
Wow, all right.
Pero, before we do get into it, as they say.
Okay.
Let's do a short Q&A.
Q&A, wow.
Yeah,
all right.
I know, Q&A. Kasi wala talaga akong maisip na
Haven't we been doing this kanina ba? Oh, this is different.
This is different.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
So I'm gonna talk about I'm gonna ask you rather rather random question, and you just give me the most random answer that you can think of. Like I'm talking off the top of your head, no filter.
Randomness. You know you're in luck because I consider myself as a very random person.
Ay, talaga?
See?
See?
Yeah. So,
okay, ready?
bring it on.
Sige. So imagine you're in love. Like I'm talking, Moira de la Torre. By the way, I'm so sorry for Moira de la Torre. Moira de la Torre in love. Mahal ka ba niya?
Chicken.
Okay, sige.
Yeah.
When you said random, you weren't kidding. Okay.
I wasn't kidding.
Okay, sige. Kung ang hinihingi niya ay bulalo, anong ibibigay mo imbis na bulalo?
Pagmamahal.
Okay. Imagine you're a cactus. Bakit?
Mainit eh.
Okay.
Yeah.
What else? Imagine you're the color red. Bakit red?
Kasi green ako eh.
Okay, last. Sorry. That answer just took me by surprise. Okay. Okay. Ano ang pinaka-powerful na bagay na hindi pagmamahal dito sa mundo?
Baby girl, you're my sun and moon. Girl, you make the stars.
So work besties. Work besties yung next topic natin.
Yeah.
Please don't ever do that again. Okay, so like what I said, it's funny that you mentioned that because that is our next topic for discussion. You mentioned kanina that you would refer your, bestie to work with you in the same workplace. I guess what I want to ask here is, would you work with them in the same team? Like, have you had experiences with working with a bestie of yours in the same team or in the same project?
Yeah, I did. Actually, I would work with a best friend, especially those from my college organization, LaSalle Dance Company Street. So in that org, we had this core value of being a family. So all of our members were pretty close. I'm pretty much best friends with all of the members, and besides being best friends with them. Our org is actually pretty known to be one of the hardest orgs to stay in because it's kind of like we're being trained to be professional.
Yeah.
Like we've had these productions, we have to be on time and everything and stuff like that. So one of the greatest things that I learned there is to hold your friend accountable for their mistakes. And so let's say, for example, I was in the marketing team. Then a friend of mine, especially my best friend, is actually in the marketing team as well. So my best friend, he screwed up. He maybe let's say he forgot to send in a letter that was very important. So instead of blaming that person, my best friend, I would tell him that, oh, bro, you made a mistake. Let's try to fix it. What can I do to help? Something like that.
It's interesting, that experience, because I also had somewhat of a similar experience. Okay. Back in my first job, I did refer my bestie, who I am still best friends with until now, actually. We do still hang out.
Happy for you guys.
Yeah, I know. He's pretty cool. We do play gigs around, but that's like a story for another time.
All right.
So in my first job, like I would say 2017, I did refer him to the company I worked at before. And I referred him because I thought he had the skills. You know what I mean?
You thought he was
Like,
qualified. He's good.
I thought it was qualified because we did work together on similar projects during school. Most of them social media related, and I thought, oh, cool.
Okay.
They're looking for this position, so I thought he was qualified.
Yeah.
And I believed he was. I believe he still was. Fast forward to 3 weeks later, roughly.
3 weeks?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's hard because you mentioned that you want to hold your friend accountable for your mistakes. It's hard to hold them accountable when you hear like things about them said by other coworkers.
Oh, I see.
So that's what gave me the reservation na parang, ay, wait. Pero, I did talk to him about it. Like, during that time. I did talk to him about it, and he understood. He got the gist. He got the message talaga.
Wow.
So, he was able to... I mean, he didn't stay long, but he was able to, like, turn it around through his own effort.
Okay, so you mentioned that you guys are friends now. So, after that situation, how did the relationship go?
Still the same. Nothing really changed.
Wow.
We did learn though that we had to be honest with each other, and until now, that's still a mindset that we like to keep. Alam mo, that's one thing that I also want to discuss: mindsets about work, because courtesy of our very dear founder, co-founder rather, Nate Spears, he did mention 2 sets of mindsets. You know what I mean?
I think
like
I do.
During the town hall last quarter.
I remember.
One of them is the abundance mindset, which states that it's an idea that there are enough resources for you, no matter what the occasion is. Like there's enough opportunities, there's enough love, there's enough friendship, there's enough trust, and that goes the same with the friendships that we have. You know, you can never be too sad about it because there is always enough friendship, there is always enough love, and there is always enough trust between you guys.
That is true.
On the other hand, and I do sometimes feel this way, there's quite an opposite mindset called the scarcity mindset.
Wow. Okay.
And it states that there's a lack, or there's the resources that you want to have are running out. And it sucks because it's a mindset that I really work hard to get out of.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure you have those mindsets too.
Yeah. Especially when I'm driving here in the Philippines. The traffic here is kind of, you have to be good at driving. So sometimes
shout out to all of our drivers.
Yeah, you might feel that you're going to run out of road, so you have to, kumbaga, gigit-gitin mo, you have to stick close to the car in front of you, which is it's pretty bad because there's this high risk of you bumping into the car in front of you, or at the same time when something comes up, let's say for example a natural disaster happened wherein you have to switch lanes. You can't really switch because you're gonna bump into the car in front of you again. So yeah.
Pero unlike when you think about it in the abundance mindset, like you never really run out of road. You're just in front of. I'm not gonna say the word, but you're just in front of less than desirable drivers. And I thank you. Yes.
Yeah, I get it.
Pero with all that, diba, you've established a friendship in the office with your bestie. Would your friendship change outside of the workplace? Like, when I ask that, I mean, like, would you treat that friend of yours as strictly a workmate when you're in work mode? Or do you hang out with them in and out of the office? Because I know people who, like, literally put up a wall between them.
Oh, yeah.
And it works for them, I guess. I'm a huge believer of to each his own. Pero I'm curious to know what you think about that.
Well, how I see a friend and a workmate, it's not in a gradient scale wherein one side is your friend, the other side is your workmate.
Yeah.
But rather, I see them in that gray area. Let's say, for example, here at the team. So, let's say with Cyrus. Yeah, I work with Cyrus very closely. So I did mention that he's one of my work friends. So when we're working, I don't see him as Cyrus, the junior graphic designer, but I don't also see him as Cyrus, my friend. I see him as both. So what happens is that we're serious at work, but at the
Yeah.
same time, I keep the moment light, wherein I don't put too much pressure on Cyrus so that he can work freely, his creative juices can freely flow, but at the same time, I have to.
You have to ask what you need.
Yeah, I have to constantly remind him that, oh, I need this by this certain period of time. Can you do that? And then and then said, oh, okay, it's possible. Then that's it. Then from time to time, I would check on him. Oh, kamusta ka? Like something like that. We would still eat lunch together. We would still talk about work, but in a more light way, something like that.
Yeah, I think I feel the same way then with other members of our team, the marketing team. We do joke from time to time. And yes,
we do.
And by time to time, I mean, it's like oftentimes. But when you need to ask them something, you don't hesitate because you're there to work.
Yeah.
Yeah. Alam mo, it's funny that you mention, again, with the funny. It's not funny. It's not funny.
Why am I laughing?
But it's interesting that you mentioned changing friendships because that is our last topic for this episode. In fact, it's a pretty serious topic. So the mood's gonna die down a bit. Like this. Pero! Pero before we officially begin that topic, I would like to shout out again to our folks at ClearSource, especially to those working from home. Hello, mabuhay, hola, hi. Thank you for tuning in, and I hope that your break times and your logout sessions, see what I did there? Logout sessions have been interesting so far. And without further ado, let's get serious. Sorry, I couldn't do that with a straight face. Okay, so like the seasons, friendships change as well. In fact, change is something that we cannot avoid.
Yeah.
It surrounds everyone, it affects everyone. So I ask you, do you have any stories that included change in your friendships?
Yeah, actually I do. I do have one, but I think it's not the typical change that people would think about.
Yeah.
So I have a group in high school. We were the best of friends. There were 4 of us. So what happened is, once graduation came, we've kind of went our separate ways. Since some of us one of us went to a different school, while the 3 of us, we attended the same school, De La Salle University.
Shout out to the LaSalle folks out there.
Sheesh. So yeah,
Okay.
the 3 of us, we went to LaSalle, but what happened is I kind of drifted away from the group since I became busy. I became a dancer at the org, and that, as I mentioned earlier, that org is one of the hardest orgs in DLSU. So my time was very limited.
Yeah.
So eventually, so that was like 3 years that I was kind of separated from them. But then at the end of my college years, that was the time when we were passing over our roles since I was about to graduate. I've reconnected with them again. And I was shocked actually that I was expecting that the dynamic would change since I've been gone for like how many years, but apparently it didn't. Like when I got back, it was like I was in high school again with them. How we laughed, how we think. It was kind of like the Jedi mind trick, So
These
yeah.
are not the droids you're looking for.
Yes. So yeah, I was shocked. Even though they've changed. My friends got thinner, so my friends grew more muscles. They were talking about some experiences that I wasn't a part of, which I kind of felt that FOMO, but it was okay because what I realized is that the people changed.
Yeah.
But our foundation or what made us friends is still the same. So I was shocked that there's that kind of change in friendships.
Alam mo, I also have a similar experience. But this time, when you mentioned that you didn't think that there wouldn't be a change in the foundation of your friendships. But there really wasn't. In my case, it was more of an establishing a friendship I never thought I'd have. Because this best friend that I have, I hang out with on a weekend basis.
Weekend basis.
Weekend
Wow.
basis, yeah.
So you guys are pretty close.
We're pretty close,
Yeah.
yeah. He used to be my high school bully.
High school boo.
I know, he used to be my high school bully. Like it was the typical, name calling.
Yeah.
Or in this case, throwing a basketball at my head.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
that kind of bully.
In his defense,
pretty
I
bad.
did throw it first. So I did deserve the basketball
That
throw at my
basketball
head.
throw, then it just rolled down the slope.
Yeah,
Escalated.
Yeah. It just escalated. I escalated it. But anyways, we reconnected in college, and I found out that we have some things in common. We both love music. We both love to sing.
Wow.
We both love to perform. You know what I mean? Kasi we were in a college music group, I guess you would say. It's a music organization.
Ah, okay.
And from there, it just parang nag-build up lang ng build up eh. So, until now, especially during the pandemic, he's become the person I confide in.
Wow.
Yeah. He and this girlfriend, but shout out pala to Nico and Cheska. No, but they've become the people that I confide in, especially during the pandemic when things were hard, and it was so taxing mentally. I'm pretty sure you felt the same way.
Yeah.
Pero it's so nice to have people that stuck with you and they become shoulders to cry on. They become ears to listen to. And it's even more interesting in my case as well when these people were people I've never thought I would be close friends with, much less consider family. And now here we are.
Yeah.
They're watching my podcast.
Very
Like
supportive.
I watch theirs.
Oh, they
as
have
always.
podcasts as well.
Yeah, they used to back when the pandemic was still fresh. But as from a favor to favor, I guess.
So it's kind of like that saying that, was it kind of like that saying that the more you hate, the more you love kind of thing? Or
Kinda. I never hated the guy. He hated me, I think.
for
But
throwing the basketball at his head.
I mean, I threw the basketball at his head.
Yeah.
It's understandable.
Uh-huh.
Oh my god. But yeah, it's really nice hearing those stories and to share those stories. Now, I ask you, with change being a constant, how okay are you that friendships do change from time to time?
I'm actually very okay with it.
Okay.
I guess the reason why I think that I'm very okay with it is because I am usually the one who causes the change in our friendship. Yeah, as I mentioned before with my high school friends, I was the one who drifted away, and I've noticed it that I kind of do that with a lot of my friends, that I would suddenly just fade in the background, or I wouldn't update them or chat them up anymore as constantly as before.
So you would consider yourself a bit low maintenance in terms of friendships?
Yeah, because I kind of have this thinking that I want to experience new things as much as I can, get new insights every time. So if I feel like that if I just stick with my friends all the time, then I wouldn't be able to grow as much, or I wouldn't be able to experience new things. So yeah, with that, I have to be okay that there are times that friendships will change. I was lucky with my high school friends that the foundation was still there, but it's not the same with my other friends. That time passes, things change. So yeah, I just have to be okay with it.
In my case naman, I think I'm a bit 50-50 on the change because I'm not a huge fan of it, but at the same time, I do accept that it's something I can't avoid. And in terms of maintenance with friendships, I like to think of myself as high maintenance. I have to be around friends as much as possible.
Yeah.
They help me grow, I mean, I do like to experience new things on my own. And I want to experience new things on my own, but it's different when they're by my side. You know?
Yeah, I get that.
Different when they're by my side. Whether it be in the office or whether it be outside of the office, you know, having them around me as a support system that I can really rely on is like super worth it. Worth all the stress, worth all the heartaches, worth all the heartbreaks, worth all
Question mark.
I'm using words. Pero yun, it's amazing. And I do thank you for talking to me about this. This has been a really good topic to discuss.
It was,
and
yeah.
for you guys out there, if you have your work besties, your out of work besties, your childhood besties, any besties at all, let them know how much you appreciate them. And I'm sure that they will let you know how they appreciate you in return. Because friendship is a two-way street. Yes, sir, it is. Anyways, we are now at the outro point of our episode. But before we wrap things up, Aaron, I want to hear what you took away from this. What you took away from what we just talked about.
Well, one thing that a key takeaway for me was actually how you can find friends even at places where you least expect that you'll find a friend. Like for example, your
My school
former bully that became one of your best friends. I was actually shocked because I've never saw myself being able to do that.
Yeah.
But
honestly, I never saw that as well. But
right?
hey,
Yeah.
I'm basking in the surprise of life.
Diba? Like, surprise! I'm now your best friend! So yeah, that's one of my key takeaways.
My key takeaway from this is that change is something that we really cannot avoid. Mm-hmm. Like I have mentioned in this episode time and time again, change is something that we cannot avoid. But especially in my experience, you can either go along with it or get mad at it. And I would rather you go along with it. Because you never know where change will take you. Mm-hmm. And that's a really interesting thing to think about, really. You know, things change, so what's in store for you? What's in store for all of us? Diba? Yeah. I'll leave that to you guys. And that ends it with us.
Oh my god! No!
Thank you so much, Aaron Flores, for being here and being my first guest for this podcast.
It was an honor, Josh.
It was an honor. Mm-hmm. You're lying. Just kidding. And to all of you guys tuned in, don't forget to follow us on our socials on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and of course, our official YouTube channel. In fact, you'll be watching a recorded video format of this episode on YouTube as well. Once again, this has been Joshua Bautista, and as a reminder for today's holiday, Happy World Friendship Day. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll see you on our next episode. This has been the Logout Sessions!
Bye, guys!